So it looks like Sean Diddy Combs is not giving up on his efforts to get bail before his trial in May. Not only that, a man is claiming that he's suing Janice Combs because he believes that Diddy has used her name to steal millions from artists. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So one of the stories that we covered multiple times before was that Janice Combs' name has always been connected to non-disclosure agreements. Diddy constantly saying, you can't talk about my mom. You might also notice that there have been reports that Diddy has used his mom's name on top of some of his businesses. Well, now a man is claiming that Diddy did this strategically. So now he's going to be suing Janice Combs. So according to themusicessentials.com, they said that Dion D1 Best, a former associate of Sean Diddy Combs and ex-gangster, has announced plans to file a lawsuit against Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, over alleged business practices related to Bad Boy Entertainment. So he made these comments on the Daily Mail's podcast. This revelation came during an exclusive appearance on DailyMail.com's investigative podcast, The Trial of Diddy, where Best discussed how his publishing rights and those of other artists were allegedly signed over to Janice Combs and what he describes as fraudulent business maneuvers. So Best alleges that Sean Diddy Combs used his mother's name to hide publishing rights and business dealings. According to Best, his company Finish Line Entertainment brokered deals in the late 1990s for several albums under Bad Boy Entertainment, including Born Again by Notorious B.I.G., which reached platinum status. He also claims that Diddy's method of structuring deals led to significant financial and emotional hardship for him and other artists involved. Look, if you've been following the Diddy stories over the years, some of what we're seeing now we're not surprised of, but Diddy has his history, his credibility has been marred by artists claiming that I signed a Diddy deal and I made no money. That has followed him for years. So details of the lawsuit, they said Best has stated his intention to pursue legal action against Janice Combs, highlighting how his publishing rights were allegedly assigned to her name. He explained, these actions caused financial hardship not only for me, but for other artists in the industry. I believe Janice Combs falls under the guidelines of the Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organizations Act, RICO. Best accusations echo those of other artists who have spoken out about Diddy's business practices. Rapper Mace, Bertha, you met Mace and Bertha, Mace, in a viral 2020 outburst, said this: your mother's got the receipts.
So you're saying you don't steal from artists is what you're saying?
Never.
So how does a narrative like that happen with so many different people?
Because people have this thing called the tap out button. When you get to a certain point and the money is running low, you gotta run this hustle to try to find somebody to blame. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I have all my receipts. And so we are going to do a special, a retrospective with all the artists, and we're going to get this narrative clear. You know, just in general, the Mace thing, I did one album with Mace. One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? One album, and then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people. And then y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name? I wrote each and every one, and each and everybody could come and step up. Bring your receipts.
This talking about he want receipts. Let's start with your mother. Your mother got the receipts. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts. You need more proof? Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about. I'm the only one with the guts to not sign it. Because I ain't need the money. All money ain't good money. Remember that.
Suggesting that the significant business dealings were funneled through her. You also may recall this was also mentioned when Aubrey O'Day did an interview and she was asked about Diddy giving back the music rights a couple of years ago to all of his artists. She was like, first of all, once I saw the deal that he wanted and there was an NDA attached where we couldn't talk about his family, we couldn't talk about Janice Combs, that's when she decided she was not going to be a part of it. And I was like, I feel like there's more to this whole Janice Combs situation and connection. And I know by now you've probably seen all of the conspiracy theories about that connection, but I just feel, besides conspiracy theories, I think business-wise, there's something there in regards to why Diddy put a lot of these things in his mother's name. And some of that possibly could be to protect himself. God forbid he ends up in the position that he is now. So all the millions of dollars, because Forbes recently said that Diddy's net worth declined dramatically this year, but it has been declining for the last few years. I wouldn't be surprised that Janice Combs, in her own bank accounts, which I don't believe the government can touch because it's not under Diddy's name. Even though Diddy, in his bail package, offered up his mother's passport and her Miami home. Okay, let's talk about this Diddy bail package situation. Yes, we are still talking about this because Diddy constitutionally says that he has the right to meet with his attorneys and be released in order to fight his trial. That's coming up in May. So he's attempting for a third time to get bail. It should be noted that he was denied bail twice before by the magistrate judge, the district judge. Well, you may recall the last judge that was supposed to oversee this, the district judge, decided because of a, quote, schedule conflict, was unable to be the judge. So they've assigned a new judge to Diddy's case. So because they assigned a new judge to the case, this gave Diddy another opportunity to have this judge decide whether or not Diddy should be released on bail. So you may recall, the Southern District of New York says that they feel that Diddy is a flight risk, but more so, they believe that he will be reaching out to victims, that he will threaten victims because they said that he has a pattern of doing this. He most recently allegedly did this to Kalena Harper, formerly of Diddy Dirty Money. She recently said in an interview that she is more than willing to talk to the feds and say that that's not what he was doing when he texted me 54 something times in a span of 4 days. But here's exactly what Diddy is trying to get in regards to this new bail hearing. So he's offering a little bit more. So you may recall he offered $50 million in bond. He offered up his Miami home. He offered up his mother's home. He offered up his kid's passport. So they've made some revisions and they claim that they have new evidence that counteracts what the feds are accusing him of, okay? So the Associated Press says that Sean Diddy Combs filed a new request for bail on Friday, saying changed circumstances along with new evidence, which we mentioned a few weeks ago, that there was new evidence that they were claiming in their new bail request. Meaning that the hip-hop mogul should be allowed to prepare for his May trial from outside of jail. Sidebar, they're also citing in their court documents that the Brooklyn Detention Center has been, they recently had Homeland Security there, feds there, raiding the jail, making it almost impossible for them to meet with Diddy. Lawyers for Combs filed a request in Manhattan Federal Court where his previous requests for bail have been rejected by 2 judges since September's arrest on racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. He has pled not guilty to the charges that he coerced and abused women for years with help from a network of associates and employees while silencing victims through blackmail and violence, including kidnapping, arson, and physical beatings. He's been awaiting his May 5th trial at a federal detention facility in Brooklyn. In their new court filings, lawyers for Combs say that they are proposing a far more robust, even though when you read through it, it doesn't sound that robust, bail package that would subject the entertainer to strict around-the-clock security, monitoring, and near-total restrictions on his ability to contact anyone but his lawyers. But the amount of money they attach to the package remains $50 million as they proposed before. I wonder if they offered more, if that would make a difference. I don't think so. I think that's why they didn't change the amount of the bail package that they're offering, because I feel like even if they offered $100 million, that's not going to change how the feds feel about Diddy being on the loose. They also cite new evidence that they say makes clear that the government's case is thin. The evidence, the lawyers say, refutes the government's claim that a March 2016 video showing Combs physically assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, occurred during a coerced freak-off, a sexually driven event described in the indictment against Combs. They wrote that the encounter was instead a minutes-long glimpse into a complex but decade-long consensual relationship between Combs and his then girlfriend. The lawyers argued that the jail conditions that Combs is experiencing at Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn violate his constitutional rights to participate in his defense. So you may recall last night we did a Diddy update live, and one of the questions that I had in regards to Courtney Burgess, as you know, this middleman that I'm calling him has come out and said that he has Diddy freak-off tapes. He also has the real Kim Porter memoir. However, Diddy's attorneys filed a motion in order to have Courtney Burgess silenced. They wanted a gag order. So there was an update. Our friends over at Reuters wrote this. They said, in another development on Friday, U.S. District Judge Aaron Subramanian, who oversees the criminal case, denied Combs' request for a gag order, barring his accusers from speaking publicly about the matter. His lawyers had argued that approximately 30 civil cases accusing Combs of misconduct or abuse were interfering with his right to a fair trial. So back to Diddy's lawyer's case against him staying in jail, in custody, while they prepare for this May trial. First of all, a lot of people say that it's ambitious for Diddy's team to think that they could actually even prepare for a trial in May. Shapiro, one of Diddy's attorneys, also said that it's impossible for Combs to prepare for trial from behind bars because of the, quote, incredibly voluminous amount of materials to review, especially without a laptop computer. She also said that his preparation has been stymied by conditions at the jail, including frequent lockdowns and even officers taking away the pens he uses to take notes. Detention is stripping Combs of any real opportunity to be ready for trial, violating his rights under the U.S. Constitution, Shapiro said. Look, I'm not an attorney, so I can't tell you whether or not the judge is going to fall for it in regards to their reasoning for allowing Diddy to be out of jail. But they're claiming they're not able to properly prepare him for trial coming in May. There's way too much information. Well, we can't deny that because we hear that there are terabytes of information that the feds have on Diddy. So it's almost impossible for his team, his legal team, Diddy's legal team, to prepare for this trial themselves. But they're also saying that without him there to give them context or information about what they're seeing, it's almost impossible because of this particular jail that he's staying at, constantly on lockdown, searches. They just recently had a big search by the feds as well. We shall see. The judge has yet to rule on this bail package. We're going to continue to follow the story, but if you enjoy content like this and you want your Diddy update, make sure that you subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. Turn on your notifications. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter.